And here to read the citation for Maestro Morricone is one of Sweden's most successful actors of all time. Please welcome Mr. Stellan Skarsgård.
Your Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else. It's an honor to be here tonight and present to you one of the great artists of our time. I'm going to read the citation for this year's Polar Music Prize, and I will use my glasses. The Polar Music Prize 2010 is being awarded to Italian composer, arranger, and conductor Ennio Morricone. Ennio Morricone's congenial compositions and arrangements lift our existence to another plane, making the mundane feel like dramatic scenes in full cinemascope. When in 1964, Ennio Morricone scored the soundtrack for the Western A Fistful of Dollars, budgetary constraints prevented him from using a full orchestra. Instead, he built up a brand new kind of music that not only set the tone for half a century of film music, but also influenced and inspired a number of musicians in the spheres of pop, rock, and classical music. A lot of people think that film music is something that is just added to an already finished and existing piece of art, but it's not. It's not like the perfume a woman wears. It's not like the topping on an ice cream. It's not like the ketchup on a hot dog. If it's anything, it's more like the wine in a coq au vin. The film marinates in it. It cooks in it. And the music enhances some desired flavors and subdues other. It balances the art, and it also guides you through it. And nobody understands that better than Ennio Morricone. And this master's music is now in over 450 films. And he has saved several films from mediocrity and disaster. But it's also, I cannot think of any other composer that has had such an important part and been so integral in the success of some of our time's really great cinematic masterpieces. It's an honor, it's a pleasure, it's a joy to welcome Maestro Morricone up on stage to receive the Polar Music Prize of 2010 from the hands of His Majesty, our King, Carl XVI Gustav. Please come up.
Loro Maestà, Loro Altezze Reali, Eccellenze, Signore e Signori, sono trascorsi alcuni mesi da quando mi è stato dato l'annuncio della consegna dai sovrani di Svezia del prestigioso Polar Music Prize E malgrado tutto questo tempo, l'emozione e la commozione oggi è identica a quella del primo annuncio. Torno con la memoria al mio passato professionale di compositore e cerco il perché di questo consenso, primo cittadino italiano a riceverlo. Sento di poter dire che le ragioni sono quelle di aver lavorato duramente, creativamente e coerentemente in tutte le attività della composizione musicale che ho cercato di onorare con la ricerca, con i rischi che la ricerca comporta, con l'invenzione di strade diverse e non solite, anche evitando i percorsi tradizionali e trasformando quelli consolidati della musica contemporanea assoluta in una scrittura che poco a poco è diventata un linguaggio, uno stile personale riconoscibile. Se il pubblico che mi segue ha compreso il mio pragmatismo e i miei tentativi, anche quelli meno riusciti, ma che testimoniano comunque la volontà di trovare, credo che le motivazioni di questa alta onorificenza diventino più chiare e quindi rendono più luminoso e straordinario questo giorno per la mia attività di compositore di musica assoluta e applicata, tale da farlo rimanere impresso nella mia memoria per sempre. Ringrazio la Fondazione Polar Music Prize dal profondo del cuore. Grazie. Grazie.
And now to our second laureate. She released her first album at the age of 11, and she has since then appeared and played in many different bands, styles, and shapes. Meet the Icelandic music sensation, a true force of nature, Björk.
I always prefer to call pop music like folk music because it's the music of the people, the beauty of simplicity. As much as I like very complex things, I like very simple things too. And for me, you have to have both.
You fall in love, simple, the sky up above, simple is caving in. Wow! Of falling in love.
I used to walk to school, which was about half an hour walk, and I would sing. I had no idea that anybody would ever hear it. It was more just my method of interacting with the environment, especially spatially. You know, you'd walk down a hill and you sing the verse, and then on the top of a hill was the chorus, you know. And Iceland is amazing for spatialness, if there is such a word, because it's so stark. There's very few people there and very few plants and very few animals. There's a lot of room for you.
To this state of emergency, how beautiful to be.
I was in bands for like 15 years, and they were all like with, you know, drums, bass, and guitars. And then when I started doing my own stuff, I was like a kid in a toy shop, so I wanted to use all the toys.
He believes in a beauty. He's seen us as a one.
For example, with strings, on debut we sent a couple of songs to India, and Bollywood strings were recorded on it. And then when I did Homogenic, I decided, okay, now I'm gonna figure out what is the Icelandic string sound and make that was my patriotic album. I mean, a part of it is also just entering the unknown and not being stagnated. I totally know about this view that you know, computer music has no soul, you know. But I've always felt that if you put soul into your music, there is soul in your music. If you don't put soul in your music, there's not soul in your music, you know. You cannot rely on a computer or a violin or a guitar to do it for you. It won't. You have to do it.
If you ever get close to a human and human behavior.
When I wrote Human Behavior, that was actually a melody that I wrote when I was in the Sugar Cubes. And we never finished that song. I was, in a way, pretending a little bit that I'm David Attenborough and I'm looking at the humans like I'm an anthropologist, you know, and I'm trying to work out what sort of their behavior is. Visual element is very important way to express yourself. I mean, that was one of the things I thought was helpful, for example, with being really involved in the videos. If people watch and listen at the same time, they understand the nature of the song quicker, you know. There does exist a visual representation of every music. Inside you know what it looks like, and it's better, truer to send it away from you in the right packing or the outfit.
I go through all this before you wake up, so I can feel happier to be safe again with you. I go through all this.
I do think of music as this kind of unknown things that needs to be explored. And usually I'm a lot more excited about all the CDs and the albums and the MP3s that have not yet been made.
And first, to celebrate Björk this evening is a widely successful singer-songwriter and owner of her own record company, who made her performing debut in Swedish television at the age of 12. Singing hyper ballad from Björk's fourth album, Post, please welcome the